What's up, guys? James Carter TV here to recap the Monday Night Football game between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this game was a defensive contest, and one that, to me, was kind of boring, as the Seattle Seahawks just kind of really put the hammer down on the Detroit Lions offense. They couldn't get anything going until an early drive in the second quarter and a very late drive in the fourth quarter. The Seahawks had their number. The Lions moved the ball a little bit, but really couldn't run the ball at all. Their passing game was dink and dunk, and then as soon as they caught the ball, they'd be blown up by Cam Chancellor and KJ Wright and the rest of the Seahawks defense that will just hit the hell out of you and make you cry to your mom. I mean, it's bad. And Cam Chancellor's a bad man. Let's go straight to the final play, because that was a highlight of the night, as Calvin Johnson catches what could have potentially been the game-winning touchdown. And as he reaches across the goal line, the ball is, boom, Falcon punched out by Cam Chancellor, proving, hopefully once and for all, his worth to the Seattle Seahawks defense. And not only that play, as I aforementioned, I mean, this guy was making plays throughout the game, throughout the evening, just hitting guys, laying the boom down. This is a legion of boom, right? He lays down the boom consistently for this defense, and he laid it down there. Now, we're all going to want to hate on Calvin Johnson, and I understand that, but ultimately, come on, he's the franchise, and he's been the franchise since he's been drafted by this franchise. Look at me saying the word franchise too much. So it sucks that he fumbled the ball, but after all he's put into the Detroit Lions, after all the work he's done, really, I'm not going to hate on him too much. If the Lions could have woken up during the first quarter, during the second quarter, during the third quarter, or 12 minutes into the fourth quarter, then they wouldn't have needed that final touchdown. But because they waited to the very end of the game to decide, hey, let's score an offensive touchdown now, it was too little too late. And things didn't bounce your way. That's why you need to score throughout the game, maybe. Maybe score a little bit in the first quarter. Maybe score a little bit in the third quarter. You didn't do that, you lost the game. Your offense sucks. Your offensive line's a joke. Although they did pass protect okay today, the running game is an abomination. Amir Abdullah, who looked like a nice toy, and when he's out in the open field can do nice things, can't get through the offensive line, because as soon as the ball is snapped, there's penetration of the Seattle Seahawks defensive line. 13 carries, 33 yards. That's not going to cut it any day, any week in the NFL. And they need to take pressure off Matthew Stafford, because there's no way he can throw 40 times against this defense. I'm surprised they didn't pick him off today. A lot of issues on the Detroit Lions, but lucky for you, there's the gauntlet of home games that are coming up. 3 straight home games and a game in London coming up for the Detroit Lions, as you host the Arizona Cardinals, you host the Chicago Bears, you host the Minnesota Vikings, and you go to London and you face the Kansas City Chiefs on a neutral field. You can get on a little bit of a run there. I'm not going to pick you to win next week, at least I don't think now, but after that, you can beat the Bears, you can beat the Vikings, you can go to London and you can beat the Chiefs. But you need to fix these issues on offense. Now let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. They're missing Marshawn Lynch. I mean, Marshawn Lynch, you're seeing why he was the guy. And Russell Wilson, to me, and this is not the point of the video, but I'm sure Seahawks fans will make it the point of the video in the comments. Russell Wilson is not a top 10 quarterback. And mainly just because he doesn't put up points. He doesn't. The dude had 20 touchdowns last year. This year, he's on pace for 20. I mean, that's nothing in 2015. I mean, that's nothing. That's so nothing that Peyton Manning, although he's great, his rookie year had 20. And Russell Wilson himself, as a rookie, had 26. He cannot what's the word I'm looking for? He cannot find again the amount of touchdowns he had as a rookie. I mean, put up points on the scoreboard. The Seahawks almost lost today because they couldn't put up points on the scoreboard, and he fumbled twice. one of the fumbles returned from a touchdown. The first fumble, Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah, Nana Ansah, stripping the ball. Actually, he didn't even strip it. He just hit the hell out of Russell Wilson, causing him to fumble the ball. Second time, I'm not sure who hit him. Maybe it was Karan Reed, but Karan Reed recovers that. I know that. And returns it for a touchdown and allows the Lions to come back into the football game. Mistakes by Russell Wilson. Now, yes, he can get out of the pocket. He can make some nice plays. Oh, isn't that nice? Not a top 10 quarterback. Definitely not a top 5. And I see some people making that argument. Maybe he's number 10. I'll give you that. But I can name... I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want this to be the whole point of the video. Actually, you know what? Let's do it because you guys are going to want to argue with me. So fine, let's argue. Top 10 quarterbacks if I had to say right now in week 4 or post week 4 because I know I'm going to get hate about this. In no particular order, but kind of in order. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees. Yes, he's still up there. Tony Romo, really? Yeah, he had an MVP season last year, or I think he should have been the damn MVP. Matt Ryan, things start to get a little bit murky here, but I think I still have arguments to be made. Carson Palmer. After that, things are getting a little bit murky. We could start talking about Russell Wilson a little bit, but I still like Peyton Manning. I still like... Ryan Fitzpatrick's giving me a really pain, but I liked him before the season. I think once he gets with a better head coach, you might see Ryan Fitzpatrick start to play better than Russell Wilson. Anyone else? Derek Carr's coming. Marcus Mariota's coming. Tyrod Taylor's a fraud, so forget about him. But I'm not... He's like number 10. Okay, I might give you number 10. Eli Manning's having a nice season, so Eli Manning might deserve some talk as well. So, yeah, okay. Flacco, forget about Flacco. So he's like, okay, maybe number 9. Maybe number 9, number 10, but definitely not top 5. He can't put up points. Where are the points? When he puts up points, tell me, because I would love to know. Andy Dalton, by the way, making a very sound argument. Take Russell Wilson's touchdown, add 4, and you have the amount Andy Dalton has right now. Now, yes, I understand Russell Wilson does not have great weapons. He has Jermaine Kearse, and he has Tyler Lockett, who actually finally started making catches in the receiving game. I mean, he's been a threat in the punt game, in the kickoff game. Now he's finally starting to get in that offense, making plays. That was nice to see. But he also has Jimmy Graham. And he's not using Jimmy Graham, or at least Darrell Bevel, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, are not using Jimmy Graham. But they're not putting up points. They put up 13 points today. The Lions are not a very good defense. I mean, not without DeAndre Levy. I mean, they were good last year. They haven't been good thus far. Ask Phillip Rivers. He put up 33 on him. Ask Peyton Manning's dead arm. They put up 24. And this was in Detroit. So, you know, I'm not buying that, you know... Oh, Russell Wilson's great. I mean, he makes nice plays. I'll give you this. He's clutch. He's opportunistic. You know, he knows when to make big plays. But, man, top 10, he's borderline. And I think there's a good amount of quarterbacks I'd take over him. But regardless, Thomas Rawls, undrafted free agent, out of Central Michigan, played today, 17 rushes, 38 yards. Nice game from him. Actually, that's not a nice game. What am I kidding? That's pretty bad. What is that? 3 yards per carry. Yeah, that's not great. But, hey, he wanted to start for long because Marshawn Lynch, and that was my original point. They need him. They need Marshawn Lynch back. The offensive line isn't great. Russell Wilson was sacked 6 times today. Again, as I aforementioned, had 2 fumbles. They need their offensive line to be fixed. Guess what? I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I kind of thought that the Seahawks got the worst of the trade, honestly. When the Seahawks traded Max Unger and, what was it, was it a first-round pick for Jimmy Graham? I thought the Seahawks lost that trade, and I think it's proving to be true because they're missing Max Unger on that offensive line. They're missing James Carpenter on that offensive line. So, you know, the offensive line needs to be fixed. If you want to compete with Arizona, and I know they lost this week, but you want to compete with them, this offensive line needs to be fixed because they love to blitz the quarterback, and that's going to be issues for you moving forward. Now, let's look a glimpse into the future for both of these teams. The Detroit Lions, I already told you about them. Next week they host the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not going to pick you to win because I think that's too risky. But you guys might upset them. And then next week the Seattle Seahawks, they travel to Cincinnati. Please put an end to this Andy Dalton love. For some reason, I don't hate Andy Dalton, but I've already had my mind made up on him. I don't want to change my mind. I think he's a regular season quarterback and not a very good one that will choke in the playoffs. So please put an end to this Bengals love because I don't know. I don't like the Bengals for some reason. I don't know why. You know, I'm supposed to be unbiased, but to be honest, I don't like them. So please go to Cincinnati and win next week. It'll be much appreciated from me. All right. Until next time, James Carter TV. I'm out. Peace.